Welcome to School of Timeless Wisdom. I'm Omni Amin, and today we're going to follow up on what we were speaking about previously by introducing something very important. What do we call 0 point or zero gravity? So what is this? This is a state of being that anybody can attain. And it is so important that it is kind of like the vital energy that gives the body its kind of like dreams, aspirations, energy to achieve anything that you want. So what is 0 point? How can we reach 0 point? So let me simplify things first. 0 point is the state where your body, your mind, your emotions, so your emotional body, physical body, spiritual body, everything that is you, reaches a point where it is in an absolute state of harmony, equilibrium. And it's not even thinking about itself, it is it. What do I mean? It means that you are living the moment whole and complete without thinking. Like 0 point is zero thinking, thoughts, zero emotions, zero, meaning that you are in perfect harmony. It is not zero because you're exhausted. You've exhausted yourself into that's it, you're trashed out. No. It is a state of being where you are so perfectly aligned with who you are, with the present moment, that you're not even thinking about it. I'm going to give you an example. When you ask someone, are you in love? If they think, oh, am I in love? It means they're not in love. A person who's in love doesn't think I'm in love. They know they're in love. They're living this love. They are love incarnated. You can see it in their eyes. You can see it in their smile. There is a bounce. There is something that is exuding from their magic, magic all around them, from the way they sit, the way they talk, the way they move. You just say, oh my God, this person is in love. And they don't even think they're in love. They're living the moment. They're enjoying it. Now, 0 point is 0 point gravity. Like how? You are in a complete state of grace. A complete and perfect state of being where you are desiring nothing because you're in perfect harmony. Sometimes you see people sitting down and it's as if they're looking, especially by the sea, on the seashore. You see a lot of people looking at the water, looking at the sky, looking at that dividing line, and they're just not moving. And suddenly you go and call their name and they're like, huh, what? They were in 0 point. 0 point is, you ask them, what were you thinking about? And then they'd say, I was just watching the waves. I was just in my thoughts. But what were you thinking about? I'm not sure. They weren't thinking. They were just being, living that moment full and complete. Now, why do we want this? Why is it important? I want to tell you one thing, that this whole universe, everything that you see around, was created from 0 point, was created from the no gravity, was created from a state where everything was pure stillness and perfection. And this pure stillness and perfection holds the power. This is why sometimes they tell you silence holds the power. People who are non-stop talking, this verbal diarrhea that I call it, is not allowing you to reach this state. Some people are just like talking all the time. Even when there is a silent moment, they feel it is awkward. They have to find something to say. They speak about the weather. They speak about something that they did. They speak about something that they would like to do. They're never present moment, and they're uncomfortable in silence. 0 point is absolute stillness. You don't even think about it as silence. You can catch not just people at the shore, children. Children are always at 0 point. That's why children are so special. Children, why does everyone like children? Because they are happy beings, bubbly beings. Watch a child play. And they're playing, but they're not aware that they're playing. They're so engrossed in the thing that they are doing. Like they take a piece of plastic or piece of tissue paper and they wrap it and they say, this is my sword. Or this is my tree. And it is so precious for them. And they're so into it. Like you take it away or you throw it away. Oh my God, you threw away my sword, or you destroyed my tree. For them, it is real. And it is, they're not thinking of, I am thinking that this is a tree, or I am making believe that this is a sword. No, they're it. And they don't even want you to acknowledge what's happening. They're happy left alone. And that's why children join one another without thinking, because they don't have this judgment of, oh, should I go and join other children? They just do it. And even when a child is left alone, it would make its own toy. Why? Because they are at 0 point. Remember one thing about a child. A child always is living itself. It's not imitating others. It is living itself. If the child wants to play, it will play. If you're forcing it to eat, and the children, when the mother is force feeding them, they spit it out. They don't want it. And the minute a child wakes up, it wants to do one thing: explore the world. And it's not even thinking of explore. It wants to move. It wants to go there. It doesn't necessarily want to make a lot of noise. It's not about noise. And it's not about silence. It is about in their own state of being. And this is very important. Non-imitation. They are always doing what they feel, not what they are coerced to do. That's why children, when you coerce them, you have to sit down. A good boy that does not create a lot of noise. A good boy is one that listens to mommy, listens to daddy. You're destroying this spontaneity. Because this spontaneity, when a child is left to just be itself, what does it do? It starts to invent. It invents sounds, vocal, even before language. It invents toys. It invents people. And maybe it's not even inventing them. Maybe the child is seeing another world, because they don't have judgment of, this is the world I live in, and that's the other surrogate world or another world or a parallel universe that I shouldn't be interacting with. And that's why a lot of children, when you approach them, they'd say, oh yeah, I'm playing with my friends. Where are your friends? Well, they're just there. What are their names? Are you lying? And they look at you and I'm not lying. They're my friends. Because they're really there. They're really not in a make-believe, in a real existence. Now, they tell you that the person who is able to keep that child within is a very creative and successful human being in life. So the child does not imitate. And the second most important thing to learn is that they breathe correctly. Breath. How do they get all this energy? Breathing. Children are the only human beings who really know how to breathe. Watch a child, watch a baby. How does a baby breathe? No, it's, and you see a child's chest and belly, and it's kind of like as if the oxygen is going to go out of its limbs, feet. It's full belly and effortless. It is kind of like allowing So that's what we call allowance. So it is not judging. When do we start not breathing properly? When we're thinking against what we really want to be, what we really want to do. When we're judging us. Oh, I can't say that. If I do this, mommy will not like it. If I do that, my friends will leave me. If I do, I'm going to fail in the exam. I might not. So what happens? Because you're there, you're not here, your breathing becomes very little. The capacity of the lungs, if I tell you that the lungs, I mentioned before that your lungs are your wings, but inside. And your lungs, it's kind of like what makes you float, because it is what picks oxygen, puts in the divine prana. Oxygen equals energy, light. It is light. What do we heal with in Reiki or in any bio-touch healing? Light. What is light? Oxygen, the photons around you. This beautiful creation, the air that is free. It is free. So a child breathes. It's a complete inhale and a complete exhale. It doesn't have to even be slow, even if it's fast, because they're excited, because they're playing. It's still, their belly goes out and the belly goes in, and the belly goes out, the belly with the chest area, everything. And especially when they are laughing, they're in joy. So this is 0 point. 0 point is when you're doing it, when you're 0 point is the allowance, allowing without even knowing you're allowing the energy in to fill the whole body and exhaling it in the correct manner. Everyone, or the majority, say not everyone, the majority are only using 1/3 of their lungs. We've reached a point where, as human beings, when we're interacting, we're only using 1/3. So this upper third, the upper third of the lungs, that's it. That's it. So the upper third, it means you're always in immediate problems. You're unable to expand and relax into your fullness, because the lungs are divided into 3 parts. So the more you fill your lungs, the more you're drawing in your totality. When all the lung capacity is full, it means you're in touch with your past, present, future, and multidimensional self. Yes, multidimensional self is connected with your lungs. It is, how do those rishis, avatars, yogis go into states of consciousness? By utilizing their lungs, the way they breathe. This is astral travel. Watch someone, scientifically speaking, who's is in astral travel. Their body's in bed. Their soul is out. But watch the breathing. There's a lot of activity. And this activity is pure light coming from oxygen and a specific utilization of the function of the lungs. So what I want us all to practice is how to reach this 0 point. You tell me, well, it's very difficult for me to reach this 0 point. And I'm like, you reach it through meditation. And if you're finding meditation difficult, it means you're so divorced away from who you are. Be in touch with yourself. Watch a child at play. Watch people on the shore when they're really not showing off their 6 packs and abs and this. No, people who are not going to the shore to show off, but going to the shore, and they're taken by the seashore because of the color, because of the waves are repetition, because of the sound, and because of all the iodine and all the prana they're getting into their body. And it would be wonderful if their bodies are on the sand, or even their feet is in salt water. Salt is an excellent conductor. Amazing. Amazing. Remember, always drink your water with a dash of salt. So 0 point is the point of creation, is the point of magic, is the point where all this has been created. It's actually divine creation comes from this zero gravity. That's why in meditation, don't you feel sometimes you're so elevated that it's as if your body has left your seat, or you no longer feel your body, or you feel you're levitating, or you feel you are as if you're in a swing. And you don't want anything. In this state, it is so delicious, it is so joyous, it is so magical that you don't want anything. We also have glimpses of this when we first wake up. You know, sometimes when you first wake up, or sometimes when we wake up at night and we feel you're floating, or when we're going into this deliciousness of falling asleep, there is this, as if you're on a swing. That's the state you need. Now, you're going to tell me how. I find it very difficult. Now, if you're really able, if you're someone who practices meditation, please don't give up. And you can light a candle, or have some incense, or soft background music that does not distract you. Every person is different. Or join a circle, regular circle for meditating, because some people need encouragement. But I want to tell you one thing: simplify. Children simplify things. So simplify. How do you simplify? How do you know that you can meditate or not? One thing: how divorced you are from your zero gravity is a state where you know it when you come to wake up or go to sleep. When you first open your eyes, you're just like, I've had such a wonderful sleep. The day now is before me. And you start in that deliciousness. And I always tell people, please, if you're starting in this delicious state, just start with gratitude and say, today is a beautiful day. I'm looking forward to today. Put all the positives in. If you wake up with, oh my God, I have to go to work, and we've got a huge problem, and I don't know how to solve it, and I might lose my job, and we might not make money, and that's not you. You're so far away from who you are. The original version of who you are does not imitate anything and does not care about anything, because it knows that nothing can go wrong. So if you wake up with all these worries and my goodness, and don't wake up, stay in bed and focus and say, I'm erasing this. You know, get a light eraser, an eraser made out of light, and see all these thoughts all erased, and start to say something you're grateful for. Like, even if you're thinking job and problems, just say, I'm grateful for my job because I really love this field, and because I have a very good friend at work. Change it. You have to. If you cannot and you fail and it overwhelms you and you still want to be in bed, if you're lying on your right side, lie on your back or lie on your left side. If it persists, I usually, what I do, I take my pillow and 180 degrees, put my pillow where my feet were and sleep. I change direction. If this doesn't work and I wake up and it's kind of like overwhelming, I leave bed immediately. And I tell myself, I'm in control. And it starts. So I go and have a shower. Usually I imagine the shower washing it all out. If this doesn't work, you've got a problem, because it means you're so divorced from who you are that the outer world has become more important than you. Remember, you are the most important person in this universe because you make this universe. You are it. So what you need to do is to breathe like a child. All right, it's not working, I'll breathe. How do we breathe? So we start breathing and counting our breath, as I taught you before. 5. And I've expanded, and 5. Inflating, deflating. Stop, pause, 5, and 5. Do it 5 times, do it 7 times, do it 10 times. I would say minimum of 5. Do it 5 times. It settles you. And then, if you're not settled and it's still coming back after those 5 long breaths, start. You know that fast breathing that the Indians are so good at? And what am I doing? How my body's pumping. So just imagine that you're with this exhale, you're getting rid of everything, and just focus on the breath. Focus on the breath. You will find that it disappeared. And do it for as long as it takes. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and out you go. Put something positive and say, I'm in charge of my world. No one can enter my thoughts. I'm a creative being. And reach that 0-point gravity. Let's say you're someone who's into 0-point gravity. Easy peasy. You do the breathing, or you're in 0 point. It's because it becomes effortless after a while. Start creating your world. And I usually, because I go so into it, and that's it. Before I go into it, I just say, I'm in the new earth. What a beautiful existence. Humanity is beautiful. It's made it. We made it into a wonderful 5th dimensional space where everyone is a grand, big soul, acting with wisdom, with kindness, with love. So I just visualize this earth, and I visualize, because people today are stressed, greedy, running after things they do not need. And I'll give one very simple example. Maybe I gave it before, I'm not sure, but a friend of mine told me this, and I'm ever so grateful. She said, before you go to pay for your goods out of the supermarket, bring another trolley. Look at every item and ask yourself, do I really need this? Put it in. Bring the second item and say, do I genuinely need this? And then sometimes you say, well, not really. I've got some, but leave it. And then take a third item. Do I really need this? No, actually, the packaging was great and it just looked fun. You will find, if not half the items you don't need, at least 1/3 of what you're taking back home is in excess. Now, energy talks. If you're bringing in things in excess, it means your life is in excess, and it's a bad excess. It's a stagnant excess. If you are having things that you are not using, and I'm not just speaking about food items in the fridge, it's food items in the fridge, clothes in your wardrobe, amount of shoes. I'm actually guilty of this. I've got so many shoes. So, but anyway, so everyone has got something. It means you need to declutter, because what is happening if you're holding on to things that have no usage? It means something is wrong in your soul. You're not using your soul properly. You're not using the full capacity. And have a look at people who are hoarders. They don't breathe properly. They're imitators. So back to 0-point gravity. 0-point gravity means I am not imitating anyone. I'm being omnium. And I'm not even thinking, nor judging myself or others. I'm just in this delicious state, and it's it. It's it. Remember, you are it. You do not need to imitate anyone. If you do want to imitate someone, make that person count. How? Or it's not even imitation. I do have, of course, role models. Those beautiful avatars that I cannot live without their like example in life. But I'm going to give you 2 examples. The first one, it's Plato. Plato loved his teacher and only ever wrote what Socrates said. And without this, we would have not had the beautiful jewels of wisdom from Socrates. So that's someone who's worthy to be a role model. The other example I would like to give is Jalaluddin Rumi. Rumi. Everybody loves Rumi's poetry. But Rumi's poetry was all about Shamsuddin Tabrizi, his teacher. He wrote poems from what Shams said. So we would have never known about Shams if Rumi not written about his teacher's teachings. So is it imitation here? No, it's not imitation. It is learning. It is taking what you've learned from a great soul, internalizing it, and giving it back to the whole world. This is the best you can ever do for yourself and others. When you have someone so knowledgeable and genuine, take it, integrate it, make it yours, write it back. And what I love about them is that Plato never said, I've written this. He said, Socrates taught. And Rumi said, Shams. These are Shams's words. Today, people go and have books written by AI and claim it for themselves. Are they original? Big question mark. You have got all the magic inside of yourself, and you don't need anything else except to breathe properly and just be in the know. 0 point. Enjoy, because life is beautiful and you're worth it. You're here because nature makes no mistakes. You're not a mistake. You are a beautiful, unique addition to this life. So please let us see you as you are. Thank you.